Hello, my name is Fran Stewart, and today I want to talk to you about getting oriented to MBA. I want to welcome all of our new students, the entire class of 2026, and our 8 new members to the class of 2025. We know that this is going to be a different year. When most of us left school in March for spring break, we never dreamed that we would not really return to school or return to our campuses. And I know that we certainly didn't think that we would be still in a restricted environment due to the coronavirus. But nevertheless, we are making adjustments. But we are going to have a good year. It's going to be different, but it's going to be full, and it's going to work. I know that most of you have heard that Mr. Joya has announced that for the first 2 weeks, we're going to start in a hybrid model. And that just means that our population has been divided in half, and that we will have half of our student body on campus one day and half the next. You're going to get some really detailed information about this later on this week. And so I will not go into all of those details. Just wanted you to know that this will be happening, that we're looking at it for just 2 weeks. And then if we need to extend it, we will. But hopefully, certainly as we move through the fall, we're going to get back to something that looks more like having everybody on campus. Obviously, the past few months have told us that there's still things change daily and hourly. And first and foremost, we want to create the safest environment for you. So I wanted to begin tonight just with a really quick reminder that some things never change at MBA. This is our 154th year. And our core ideas of gentleman, scholar, and athlete always we use as our guiding light, and the things that we build everything around. It's our wish and hope and prayer for you as you start your time at MBA. A gentleman is simply who you are and how you act in relation to others. It's part of being truthful and respectful. It's part of how you pay attention to each other, how you pay attention to the needs of others. You are now in a brotherhood. You have a class, you have an MBA class, and you will forever be part of that group. We will work throughout the years that you're on campus on all the things that a gentleman does. There's some things that we consistently do that are very specific. We stand up when people enter the classroom, when an adult enters the classroom. We always are helpful and courteous. And those are things that we just don't talk about, but we practice every day. The second one is scholar, and all of you are recognized scholars from your previous schools. At MBA, what scholar means is not necessarily the top of the class or making straight A's, but someone who is dedicated to the academic process. You want to learn, you're curious. You're willing to do the work and get yourself organized to make it happen. You're also willing to ask for help. You will not know all the answers at MBA. You will be learning things completely new. And so for some of you, you haven't done that in a long time. And so the willingness to ask for help and know where you can get help is also very important. The last one is athlete. An athlete is not the star of the football team or the fastest runner or any of that. The athlete is the person who is a part of the team, is part of a team and knows how to be a good team player. The athlete, in the general context for us, is having the skills to physically care for yourself, knowing how to keep your body fit, knowing how to attend to the needs, the specific needs of your body as you grow from a 7th grader, all the way up to a big, a senior. Everybody at MBA is an athlete. You will be part of an athletic activity every season. And I think that Ms. Hindle, who is in the office, in the central office, front office at our junior school, she has already sent you an email that details the process for getting signed up for our fall sports. Some of them are starting, some of them have been delayed and will start. It's kind of what the year is going to be like. We're going to have great plans, and then we're going to have to be flexible in those plans and be very attentive to information as it comes out. The contact for any questions about athletics would be in teams, would be Mr. Tips, our athletic director, and his assistant, Ms. Dreer, in the gym. As we build on our core ideas, there are two things that I want you to know about that will be ongoing this year. In the 7th grade, we will have mentor groups that we call GSA. And in these small groups, we continue to discuss and explore the ideas of gentleman, scholar, and athlete. What does it really mean? What does a gentleman really look like? You know, how does a scholar really learn, and how do they show their curiosity? And how does an athlete really take care of all the needs of their body in regards to physical growth? In the 8th grade, we have mentor groups, and we call these groups just talking. And in these groups, we will explore all the aspects of communication. You'll also have many resources, and your main resource is going to be your advisor. Your advisor is a person that you will stay with for the 7th and the 8th grade. And that is the person that will know most about you. That's the person that will have the answers to most of your questions or help you find them. And so particularly in these first few days, everything will be built around you being with your advisor. So that's someone that you really want to use as your primary resource. I'm always available. Ms. Hindle will be available. We also have one other person. The Dean of Students in the junior school is Mr. Patrick Simpson. He's really exciting. He's a world-class wrestler. He went to MBA. He went to West Point. He served in the military, so he has some good stories. But more than anything, he's dedicated to the ideas of MBA. And his particular role at MBA is student activities, and particularly those around service and leadership. So I look forward to you to get to know Mr. Simpson. Some of the things that are coming up that you need to know about, the time that we will be together in person looks like it's going to be August 14th, and that is registration. And that's a Friday. And the 7th grade would register in the morning and the 8th grade in the afternoon. For the 7th grade, you will arrive at campus at 7:30, and you're going to go to the soccer field, believe it or not. And we're going to start our day with a pinning ceremony. On the soccer field, you'll be joined by your MBA big brother, and we will proceed with a ceremony at the end of which your MBA big brother will pin on your lapel your MBA pin. After that, you will be directed to join your advisor, and you will go through a series of activities. This will include getting your school picture made, as well as signing the MBA register. At the end of those rotations, you will go to, with your advisor, back to your home base, and then you will run a very quick schedule of your classes so that you can see not only who your teachers are, but where their rooms are. And so the 7th grade registration will be concluded at noon. At 1 o'clock, we'll welcome the class of 2025 on campus. You will start in the theater, and then we will, from there, after some introductions and some welcomes, you too will start a rotation, and then your registration will conclude at 3:30. For both the 7th and 8th grade, you will be doing the rotations with your advisor. So that will be a really good time for you to get to know your advisor and other people in your advisory. There have been some changes, and I know that won't surprise you. In April, when we talked about the schedule and I shared that with your parents, we talked about two activities. We talked about Long Mountain and Camp Laney. Typically, we would start out, our first time together would be putting everybody in 3 big buses and rolling down to McMinnville, Tennessee, to our campus there, and spending a day at Long Mountain. It's just not safe to travel in enclosed buses yet, so we're going to postpone that. We will be using Long Mountain. I was really excited about it. I still am. We have new cabins there. We have an airnasium. It's just one of the most beautiful places I can imagine spending time on. We have a world-class observatory there. And so we will find ways to get you in large or small groups to Long Mountain, I promise. Camp Laney, we still have the same issue with Camp Laney in that it's just not safe to travel in large groups and closed spaces yet. So we have postponed Camp Laney, and instead of it being a team building event, it's going to be a team celebrating event. And we are going to go to Camp Laney in April. It's April 14th, 15th, and 16th of next year. For the class of 2026, we are going to continue a special activity. We have embraced the idea of getting to know more about each other and the different stories that kind of inform who we are today. And last year, we took the concept of the civil rights movement because it informs so much of our history, and as something that we would spend a day studying together. And so we're going to do that in January. We will take a day to study together. And this year we're going to stay in Nashville and actually look at Nashville and the sites and the people that were involved during the time of the civil rights movement and what role Nashville served. In the 8th grade, we have a day that we call it a day of science, but it's going to be a little bit more than that this year, when in February we will join with the 8th grade at Harpeth Hall for a day of study together. So not everything has changed too much. The biggest excitement, I think, in looking towards something that is hopeful and exciting is that we have a new wellness center. All that construction going on in the back of our building is almost done, and it's going to be ready for us in January. So we're planning a grand opening, and you will get to use that. I mean, we have new locker rooms, we have arena spaces, we have indoor practice fields, squash courts, a 16,000 square foot training area. So that will be something that will be really exciting for us for many years to come. But it'll also be a great way to start 2021 and being able to open and share that facility with you this year. So I want to talk about safety for just a minute, and we have some very detailed instructions that we will share with you. But there's 3 that we have to do, and we have to be very consistent. We have to wear masks. We have to wear masks all the time. You're going to get an MBA mask. It would be helpful to have a second mask. Keep it on at all times. Be committed to keeping your hands clean and to washing them often. We will have multiple hand sanitation stations all over. And so you will be able in each classroom and in the hallways to keep your hands sanitized. Social distance. We all want to be together and we want to enjoy each other's company. And we can do that. We just need to be able to do that safely. So for the time being, we're going to just share a little farther apart, okay? And so I trust that we can do that. I watched the boys do it all summer. I think we can still have a wonderful community and talk and do all those things we normally do. We just have to be really sensitive about not being too close together for right now. There are more details that will be shared about how we operate in the buildings and in the classrooms. You have information already about your backpacks and needing a water bottle. All of these are designed to keep you safe. And so I am so excited about this year. I want to thank you for choosing MBA and coming to us. It's a great place for boys. I want you to look for the email from me that you will get on Thursday, next Thursday, August 6th. I want you to open it and I want you to share it with your parents along with this video. And then we should be ready to start together on August 14th in person for registration. And then by then you will have all the directions you need for how we're going to start in this hybrid model on August 17th. So for now, welcome to MBA. I hope you feel and know how much we appreciate you and are so eager to spending the next 6 or 5 years with you. So until then, roll red.